Anytime.
Three, two, one, zero.
That's so much fun.
Good morning, everyone.
Where's
How
that
can
goal? Let's go.
let's go. How can you not be pumped up after that?
I know that's so much fun.
It is. Oh, so what are we talking about today?
Well, we're going to talk about data because it is so imperative that you have some data um, when you're setting goals, right? I mean, you can't go from a couch potato to a marathon runner. I mean, let's
Right.
be real, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I think the exercise analogy is a great one to start with because we actually like get it that
Mhm.
oh, I can't just run a marathon tomorrow. But somehow when we're talking about our business goals, we think that we can run the marathon tomorrow.
Right. Without considering how to go from zero to a marathon, the in between stuff. And isn't it funny how working out seems to be the goal that we can all resonate with, right? So we go from zero to 7 days a week, an hour at the gym every single day.
Right. Right.
It's
And
funny.
and we wonder why after week 2
If
if
we
you make it
even
that
make
hard.
it to week two. Because by day three, you're getting out of bed going, oh my God, what did I do?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got that like go like come up and we talked about this last week, so if you didn't catch last week, you come up with this perfect plan,
Mhm.
the ideal of all the things, you try to put it all into action at once,
All at once.
all at once, and then you realize, "Oh my gosh, like I can't do this." And you think it's a failure of you. And in reality, it's just not recognizing where you started from and what is realistic, what is feasible
Mhm.
when you start out. I mean, you are capable of doing all those things, but you've got to build the capacity uh, incrementally versus like
Mhm.
all at once.
Yeah. I mean, because we're so excited when we start. I
Hmm.
mean, the momentum is there. The problem is it's not sustainable.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
that go 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 go. I mean, you're so excited, you're pumped, whatever the goal is, you're like, "Oh, I'm doing this." But then life happens or you're so sore you can't get out of bed and you're like, "Whoa, I can't do it. I just can't. So I'm going to quit."
And the doubt that was always there, but you were able to overcome in your excitement
Mhm.
starts to creep in. And my favorite thing about the brain is it loves to tell you why you should stop doing all of those things because
All of them. I
if
mean,
you got to stay in the cave, like it's safe in the cave. You're
yes.
doing all this stuff and that's like we're getting outside the cave. Like
Yeah. Yeah. So I think getting a baseline, I mean, pick any goal. Water is another one. It's like we all know we should be drinking more water. There's very few humans on this earth that are drinking the amount of water that we're supposed to drink. Okay, great. So why is it that we go from, okay, I get like a bottle in a day and now I'm going to get 8 in? I mean, really? I mean, why not get 2 bottles in a day and see how that goes? Right?
Or a bottle and a half.
Or, yeah. I mean, it's just how we go from nothing to all is really what sabotages us, right?
Yes. Yes. Because if you want to create lasting change,
Mhm.
it is much more incremental, and the obstacles that will come up if you're going from nothing to everything in one fell swoop. The first time you hit an obstacle, you you can't overcome it. You throw up your hands and are like, well, clearly this isn't for me.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how do we fix this? I mean, how do we fix it?
Well, I think, you know, when we're goal setting, we often don't take the time to acknowledge what is our current baseline.
Mm,
What am I currently doing that is supportive of the goal, the outcome I want? And and like zeroing in on that as your starting point, and then thinking, okay, let's break this down into micro improvements, because we all want to get to the goal faster. We want to
mhm,
get there as soon as possible. We wanted to get there yesterday.
mhm, mhm,
So I think that um, try, and this is where a group I think helps,
mhm,
because you may think, oh, I've gotten this down. Here's my baseline, and I've gotten this down to a micro step forward. This is what I'm going to do this week, right? But a group can say, that
hmm,
still feels like more like a cat, a jumping from one end of a valley to another. We got to bring it closer together, because we
mhm.
need to make it a step, not a leap,
Yeah.
or oh, I need to get in a glider to get across there.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did something really fun yesterday. Yesterday we wrapped up our 12-week mastery circle, and man, the goals that were achieved. I mean, even those that, so like me personally, I had set 3 goals. And when we went through the data, which is a step that we just don't often take because we set goals. Did I reach it? Did I not? And what's the next goal? And we really slowed the process down yesterday and looked at our goals. And I had a business goal. And when we went through the data, I got a third of the way of my business goal, which tells me I set way too ambitious of a goal. Good to know. I went from
Mhm.
couch potato to marathon, right?
Mhm.
But it's just this, I just picked an arbitrary number, had a plan, and I took a step back and I'm like, but wait, I got a third of the way. I am not at zero anymore. I got a third of a way to my goal and I celebrated that.
Yeah, and that is absolutely true. Like, we are making, when we set out a goal, it's like driving to the mountains. You
Mhm,
see the mountain
mhm.
and you think, "Oh, I'm going to be there in like an hour."
Yeah, because it seems like it's right there. I
It's
can see it.
right there. I can
Yeah,
see it.
yeah,
And 5 hours later, and it's still in the distance. You can still see it. And so it is, we think it's not that far, and so we set this goal, and like you said, recognizing that going from where you were to where you are now is a third of the way to where you want to be.
yeah,
You have two options. You can be like, I completely failed, this isn't for me. Or you can be like, this is amazing. If I spend 24 more weeks doing this, I'll be there.
Mhm.
And maybe I can make that time shorter because I learned a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing that I learned is, why do we have to set a goal? I mean, why can't we set, like, this would be a good goal, this
Mm,
would be a better goal, and this would just knock my socks off kind of goal, right?
right.
So we have these incremental goals that, we set the first, like, good goal as, it's a stretch, but I think I can do this. I really, if I put my heart and soul into it, I think I can accomplish this. And then my better goal is, wow, wow, right? And then my
Yeah.
best goal would be, it would be a freaking miracle, but it would be awesome. But it seems like our goals we set from, we go straight to the best. I
Right.
mean, it's like, this would be totally awesome. But if I would have set an incremental goal, I could have avoided some of the head drama initially, when it was like, oh, but wait, I
Yes.
did achieve something. I did step forward, So I think that's another idea of not just setting a goal, but setting, a good, better, best goal, or something like that.
Absolutely. And I think the magic in that is not only it helps break it down into increments so you can feel that success
Mhm,
sooner, but it taps into I've got this bigger vision
mhm.
and that gets you excited and motivated. It's your like it is your why. It's the thing that lights the fire under you, but it also gives the brain something to hang on to that is not so far out in the distance,
Yeah.
and like you said, it allows you to reduce the head drama that says, okay, yeah, we know that that is the unicorn goal.
I love that. The unicorn goal. So we have pony, horse, unicorn.
Right, but we're going to get on this pony that's in the like I think of the county fair, getting in
Yeah.
the little circle and you ride the pony for the first time. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I think the other piece
Mhm,
of the data side is a goal often is an outcome that we don't have 100% control over. There's
sure.
other factors.
Oh, yeah.
So the data side says, what are you measuring besides the outcome that you want to get? So, like in business, it's like, I want to have a full practice, 10 clients. I want to make this revenue goal. You know, I want to have this many people on my email list. That requires action by someone else in
Mhm,
order for you to get that outcome.
mhm,
And so, what are the actions that you control, and are you tracking that? Because at
mhm,
the end of the time frame, maybe you just need more time to get to the outcome you want.
mhm.
Maybe you think that you were taking enough action to create the outcome you want, and you find that, oh, wait a minute. Hmm, maybe I was optimistically thinking about how much I thought I was doing because
Mhm.
we often think we're doing so much,
Yeah.
but seeing the numbers,
Mhm,
seeing how many messages did I send, how
mhm.
many conversations did I have, those types of things, those actions that you actually control, and you can do more or you can change or you can pivot, you know.
You're right. Yeah. And I think your social media example is right, exactly what you're trying to say here. We can control posting, right? I mean, that
Yes.
is in our control. What we can't control is how many likes, how many shares, how many comments, what other people do with the social media that we put out there. So, yeah, I mean, what is in my control? And that's what I need to measure, not the other stuff.
Yes. Yes,
right?
the other stuff is the result of the actions you take, plus people feeling like, oh, this is what I need to do.
Yeah, yeah. So as we enter into December, we're getting close. We're halfway through this month. I mean, it seems like we hit Halloween and the year just leaves us. I think what would be most beneficial is to reevaluate the goals that you set for yourself and look at the data to give
Mhm.
you a baseline. Did you move 1% forward? That's a success. I mean, little bitty changes is great. 50%, 30%, wherever you are. And get a baseline. I mean, if your goal is to get in the best shape of your life, let's say, and you worked out 3 days a week pretty consistently. Well, maybe your goal for the next 12 weeks is, can I add one more thing? And that doesn't mean working out. That just means, how can I move more throughout the day, or, whatever it is. And then, kind of step it that way instead of going, I'm going to work out 7 days a week, an
Right.
hour a day. You know,
Or saying, oh my gosh, it's November. I'm not in the best shape of my life. I'm not going to be in the best shape of my life by December. I'm just going to eat all the things and
yes,
watch all the Hallmark movies and
right.
not go to the gym for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah. And that's
So
the other key. We have 6 weeks left,
yeah.
right?
And it's totally fine if this isn't the time
Sure.
for you to push forward, to try to close the gap or make significant progress. Maybe you are in the mindset of, I'm shifting my focus to time with family and making memories with my kids. What maintenance activities can you do to keep things moving on your big goals,
Mhm.
so that on in January when you come back to, all right,
Here
it's
we
a new
go.
year, let's get it. You're not going you're not starting back from a reduced baseline.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's the two camps you can be in this
Mm.
year is just, am I going to jump into a maintenance? What does that look like for the next
Mhm.
couple weeks? Or am I going to try to continue to move my goal forward? Because I mean, 6 weeks is not a small amount of time. I
Mm-mm.
mean, you
No.
got a third of the way to your goal, you know, in 12 weeks. What if you could get a third of the way
Yeah.
towards your goal again in 6 weeks
Or
with
at
that
least
experience?
keep the momentum going. And it all starts with the data and getting a baseline. And what is my next small step that I can add to my process?
And run it by someone.
Yes.
Run it by someone.
I'll never forget. It's like, okay, I got my next step. And you're like, bring it on back just a tad more. And it's like, what do you mean? So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, cuz your brain starts running and you think, "Oh, I can do this, and then I can do this, and then I can do this." And it's like, "Okay, well, when are you going to actually do those things?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
one last thing before we go, I think.
Yes.
So we've got, well, two things. One, we have a Black Friday Power Hour coming up. So if you are not uh, shopping or sleeping off a turkey hangover, come join us and we're going to get some stuff done. And it would be a perfect time to work on, that goal setting, figuring out what your next step is.
Mhm.
And the other exciting thing, which we'll reveal more in the next coming week, is we are doing a 12 days of action in December.
Yeah.
And so with that will be a whole bunch of power hours. So we
Yes.
are your partner in getting things done in December, whether it's maintenance or surging forward.
That's right. That's right. You come with any goal. I mean, any goal, and
Yeah.
we will the the progress made. We had someone have to pivot. We've had someone that had life happen, and we had someone that just totally crushed it because she was amazed at what she could actually get done. I mean, it's all we've had all the different extremes, and it's been fun to watch, and it's been fun to create what we're doing in December. So yeah, I mean, we're
Super
here.
excited. We're
Yeah,
excited.
yeah.
We're not going anywhere.
Mm-mm, no.
In fact, you might get annoyed by us.
And what do you say? I'm so pleasurable.
I know we are delightful. Well, at least I think we're delightful.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
All right.
All right.
Well, we'll talk next week.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.